So, hey Anomalies, how y'all doing?
Hey, Anomalies. What's been going on?
Yes, welcome to our second episode of October. And
Hey. Let me get a reaction across the screen.
aren't we? Okay, so y'all probably missed that, but the platform that we use for our video is they have incorporated
Reactions.
The
same reactions that are on Facebook.
So during your video call, you can pop up a reaction to somebody so they can see it. And so Bina and I have been playing with it a little bit. we're gonna see if it records in the recording. That's the experiment. Right. So y'all get to be a part of this experiment if you watch.
Right. Watch us on YouTube.
So yeah, that was a plug for the YouTube, definitely. Anomalous Black Women Podcast. Check out our channel, y'all. Oh God. So what's been going on in the world today? Any hot topics? I've been
I think my hot topic is Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's the hot topic for me. I wish that was something that I could do. Right. But I'm supporting them from Florida.
Yeah. So much going on. It's I mean, in so many different regions, there's so many different struggles, and they're all similar yet different. And it is very sad.
I mean, the sad thing is that no matter where you live as a Black person, you're being picked off. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
it's sad. So sad. And I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, they have my support from here, and if anybody, if Anomalies, if you know of anything that we can do from the States, let us know. We can send some stuff somewhere.
Oh, we do have listeners in Africa, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We sure do. Hey, y'all.
Hi. Let us know.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Do I have any hot topics?
The hot topic is that if you listen to our podcast on a regular basis, you remember Tasha saying that by Sweetest Day, she might have a flu. Well, let me tell you, she does.
Okay, put it out there, but yeah. So I guess that is my hot topic. Because I don't know what else is going on.
Because she been with Katie, that's why she don't know what's going on.
Taken. And you know what? I'm enjoying it too.
I'm glad.
So, any creative accomplishments, y'all? If you follow, y'all might not follow Poise.1 on IG.
Poise.1.
Nope, Poise1. Poise1. I posted a picture of the Tasha's designed by Bina, and I had on a custom shirt from the Aisha Inc. Custom Designs, and I was just in my element. And so, if y'all want to check out the Tasha sneakers, they're dope, and I love them. And yeah, that's the.
And if you want to grab a pair of Tasha's,
that too.
BLKFLY clothing.online.
Thank you. Because I was taking too long, huh? Oh gosh. All right. So let's see. Any other creative accomplishments? I think I created another resume style.
Good.
Just doing
What's
stuff.
the resume style that you use to get this job?
That straight up basic standard name on the top,
Mm-hmm.
the straight down, employer, date, duties. Like it
Basic.
wasn't.
Straight to the point. Nothing fancy.
Yep.
I mean,
So
it's always hard to figure out what the person that's recruiting talent is looking for in a resume.
right.
Some people like to have pictures on their resumes and have this whole bunch of stuff. Some people like it basic, straight to the point, because they don't want to have to look all over for whatever it is that they're searching for. So
Yep.
it depends on the recruiter, the person that's recruiting talent, and what they look at when they look at resumes.
I think it changes for industries. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a graphic design person, then you probably want to do something graphically appealing to the eye with your resume. If you're an artist, like it all depends. But my degree is in business administration. I'm gonna be black and white.
Boring. No, just playing.
Management, black and white. That's straight to the point. Yeah. So, what about you, ma'am?
I
That
can't
sounded
think
like
of
melodies.
anything.
That sounded
I,
like melodies from heaven just now.
I got brain fog, so I don't know what
Oh
to.
boy. Both of us can't have brain fog on this call today.
I'm just saying. So, what's the topic of the day?
The topic of the day is to be or not to be. That's the question. No. The topic of the day is to be or not to be all that you can be. What does your decision making process look like? Like what's your decision making process? How do you make decisions? Um, to be all that you can be or not to be.
So, to slack or not to slack?
Yay! But like what influences to slack or not to slack? So our quote of the day: may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. And that's from Nelson Mandela. So thinking back or forward, do you think that your big decisions were often less calculated than your smaller decisions?
No. My smaller
Absolutely.
decisions are less calculated than my bigger decisions. If it's a big decision, I got to ponder on it for a minute. If it's something that I consider small, I do it like that.
So you're not one of those people that, like for me, when I sit down on Netflix, I'm like, what am I gonna watch? When I sit down at the TV, period, like it's like, what am I gonna watch? I spend more time on that than really, really is necessary. So
Yeah, I'm not one of those that continuously flip through. I'll go for a second and then I'm gonna choose this one. It seems interesting.
okay, okay, all right. That's what makes us unique. But I know because I am one of those people, like a hothead and not a hothead at the same time. But like, someone who is, that goes from 0 to 10 in the heat of an argument could end something, long term in seconds. And so there is kind of like, that thing where there are I guess a certain number of the population that takes more time to reflect on smaller decisions, and then that population where they're so hot-headed that they can instantly change the course of something, I don't know what, but
So with me, I'm a hothead. Everybody already know that. But when it comes to certain relationships, like I think before I say something because I value their relationship.
right.
But if just some random person or just whatever, I don't care. Like I don't. But with my close relationships, I don't like to argue. I don't like to feel like I did something to hurt them.
Anybody.
So, yeah, so I think before I say something because I know that I can say something. Yeah, could.
And you're right.
So
And
I try to think about it, think before I say something. Or I'll try to leave the walk away and come back later. Because if I say something when I'm heated, it's a wrap. The relationship's definitely gonna be over.
Oh, okay, thinking about bigger decisions,
Mm-hmm.
do you think because they're bigger well, you said that you do take time. So when you say take time, like, do you put a time limit on how long it's going to take you or how long you have to make this decision? Or do you kind of just gradually move into that decision?
Well, I guess it just depends on what the issue is. If it's something that has a time limit, of course I'm gonna try to make my decision within that time frame. But if it's something that I don't have a time limit on, I'm gonna take however much time I need to make that decision.
So, like, I'm like, some things you kind of just, they're made over time, but they're also kind of like, in some ways, going with the flow of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, just hypothetically speaking, you meet someone and a little time goes on and y'all always together, so you decide to move in together. Or,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, plan to get married. Okay. So at some point you're gonna move in together. And then at some point, maybe y'all have talked about it prior to and have a timeline, maybe you haven't. But at some point you decide to not do what you need to do, or to not do what you need to do to protect from pregnancy, right? To stop a pregnancy. So no contraceptives anymore if that's what you were doing. So that's not a sound decision to say, or at least it's not like a real definitive way to say I'm ready to be a parent. You just kind of flow into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you exclusive with somebody, y'all don't even have that discussion that we may not have had a discussion that we want children, but we ain't trying
doing
not
nothing
to
stop them, right? So you kind of just like, okay. So I mean that's a thing, and I think a lot of times in that sense there are external things, kind of influencing those big decisions that are
some
big
big
decisions.
we make that we don't realize we're making.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, some big decisions we don't realize, like we don't take into account what that decision is going to entail or possibly entail.
The
You just
ramifications, the results.
right. You just kind of when it comes to relationships, you love that person, y'all exclusive. So we don't, throw that what we need with that? Okay. But you ain't, but afterwards you may think about it, like the first time you might think about it, but you may have also liked that.
Right.
So anyway.
As I've been told by people, I know, I'm following.
Some decisions make themselves kinda, and
Yeah.
then some big decisions. Most of my big decisions though, I ponder on them, but some decisions make themselves. But
So,
smaller, I guess. What would you consider a small decision though? I guess it depends on the person's definition of what's big and what's small.
True, because that's going to vary by person.
Yeah,
That's
it's
definitely going to
subjective.
vary by person. But I think smaller things that are, it's a decision that's just going to affect like that day, that moment. Like what to watch on TV right now. Like that has no bearing on the rest of your life.
Now I have a problem with figuring out what I want to eat.
See,
I know Lamar gonna have something to say about this when he hear it, but I have a problem with figuring out what I want to eat. And he is the one that's cooking, so I'm like, you know what I eat? I tell you every day what I want to eat. What's in
you
the
might have a craving for something.
If I do, I'll tell him what's in the refrigerator. What's in the refrigerator? What are my choices? Don't ask me what I want to eat. And then if I say something that's not in the refrigerator, he'll be like, okay, I gotta go to the store. No, I don't need you to go to the store. Just tell me what's in the refrigerator. What's in there?
That's nice.
I know y'all like this girl don't know what's in her refrigerator. I do not.
Right.
I don't shop I don't go to the grocery store. I get real bad anxiety in the grocery store, so I don't go grocery shopping. And I am not the one that cooks. So the
ain't no
person
need for you to go.
Right, should be the one that's going to the grocery store.
And he does. He take care of it. Shout out to my brother-in-law.
Shout out to my boo.
My Goldie. So, okay, tying in our quote, right? Decisions that are big or small, there's like hope and fear involved in that decision making process, right? No, Tasha, what are you talking about? So, like, okay, you in the store, right? Small decision. Do you try the new flavor potato chips? And I love go-to flavor.
You cut out. Your storm over there, you up. We got packet loss.
Okay. So, you in the store. Small decision. Okay. Do you try the new flavor chips or do you stick with your go-to flavor chips?
Depends on what the new flavor is. What's the new flavor?
It's Cajun chicken wings.
I'll try Cajun chicken wings.
Okay. So, in choosing the Cajun chicken wings chips rather than your go-to, what was your hope in choosing them? Right. And what's the fear that's involved in that decision?
I should have got my regular chips.
Exactly. So I think when you look at every decision, like there's a hope there and then there's a fear there. And on the optimistic side, you want to choose the decision that's based on your hopes. So ideally. So let me see. Another one. You have to buy a car or pay big bucks to get your current vehicle fixed. Either way, it isn't an ideal time and situation. So big decision, right?
Right.
Do you fix or do you buy? And I'm expecting.
And I have to pay big dollars to get the current car fixed. I might as well get a new car.
So, in choosing your decision, your choice, excuse me, what was your hope? What is your hope?
That I have a car that ain't raggedy.
And what's your fear?
That I done spent too much money.
Oh, goodness. And it's funny, y'all, because I'm answering the questions in my head and we are saying the exact same thing, but maybe that's an adult thing. So anyway, exactly. Like, golly. I don't like car notes. I like paying for cars. Over.
Right. I don't like car notes. I got my truck, which it need a new starter right now, but since 2010, it's a 2000, what is it, 2002, 3, one of them.
Ain't that a classic? Is it a classic yet?
I think so. I need to give me some classic tags.
Is it 30 years or 20? I don't know.
I think about a classic car. I think about an old box Chevy, not a 2002 Sport Track.
Well, you know, that was a classic when you was young. So
Don't do me.
I think it's an antique now.
It is.
So your car is a classic now. I love that truck though. It's still cute.
Yeah.
But back to our decision. So, you know, the choice in buying a new car is that, you know, you don't have to worry about any maintenance for a while. You have a good car. Okay. And the fear is that, dang it, I done spent too much.
But then you got to take into account that if you go somewhere, you don't have to rent a car. You can just drive yourself. All of that. But your hope is that the car is a good choice and not something that you didn't put too much money in when you should have just got your car fixed that you don't have a car note.
Why you fussing, Mama Bina?
Because I don't like car notes.
That's real. That's real. So, well, I mean, I think there's pros and cons to making choices based on your hopes versus your fears. I think if you make choices based on those things that you're hoping for and working toward, then positivity and good vibrations attract that back too. So if you make those decisions in a good place with good intent and it's for the common good of your future goals, then I feel like it'll work out.
Yeah.
But if you fear it,
ideally, it'll work out. But everything is not ideal. And some fears are realistic, I just had a brain fart. Some fears are just being realistic. Like,
true.
If I make this decision, am I gonna be sleeping on a street corner?
True.
That was extreme, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah. It is.
But some people are a decision away from living on the streets.
Absolutely. Yep. That outfit that you want with somebody else's name on it. But yeah, so you're right. There does need to be an air of reality in your decision making process.
Yes.
But I think even making decisions based on your hopes and where you want to go, that as you grow, you understand that getting to where you want to get to is not going to be easy. Well, as an adult who's actually probably been through something, you probably realize that. But just because you're hopeful for the future doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get there with ease.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I'm at. Like I make decisions for the future, and
yeah,
it's not without realizing that there won't be any stumbling blocks, or that my timeline might be at a standstill for a period of time. Like,
right. Yeah.
So there's the hope there. And, yeah, there are fears. Like you said, am I going to be broke and hungry somewhere? But you can't live in that. You can't live in that, because if you live in that fear, then you're never going to do anything. You're never going to live that life with experiences.
Right. But you also shouldn't just jump feet first into everything, either based on what you hope is going to happen or what you hope is going to turn out to be, because that's not realistic. So basically, when you making pros and cons decisions, you have to have an air of positivity / reality, and then make that decision. So not necessarily on the hope, not necessarily on the fear, but in the middle of the two of those, and make a decision. Because if we make all of our decisions based on our hopes, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Well, I hope that's not true.
I'm saying.
No.
In Florida.
Well,
I ain't make this decision based on my hopes. I made this decision based on realistic answers to questions.
so there was no hope that all would be true and pan out.
Like I said, you got to be down the middle. I ain't make it specifically on how I hoped it would be. Like, so one of the reasons why I decided to move to Florida is because I have fibromyalgia. So it's warm here longer than it is in Virginia. So that was a realistic reason to want to move. Now, we hoped that we would, fit in down here and find friends and have friends and all that other kind of stuff. But that was one of the reasons that was on the list of why we moved down here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be down the middle. You can't be on one side or the other.
So it's mostly the same. Like, there is the air of realism, that, it might not go that way, but this is what we're about to choose, because statistically it looks good this way.
Right.
So, yeah, but you might have I don't know those weather terms, the nor'easter or something, and you might have a cooler summer than normal. But the next summer, it's back to its normal climate for, that particular area. So, there's that air of realism, but majority of the time it should be best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So without stumbling blocks, but it did happen. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. I love it. I love you, girl, because we be thinking alike.
Yeah, most of the time.
Oh gosh. So yeah.
Okay, Anomalies. A lot of y'all like talk to us while you're listening. So leave your comments. We love to read them. We have people that look at our YouTube and they talk back to us and they type it out. So we like that because we trying to figure out what part they on. So, what are y'all thoughts on the pros and cons of making decisions? Do you make decisions based on your hopes? Do you make decisions based on your fears? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let us know. We would love to read your comments. It may be featured on our social media. That's Tasha's job, not mine.
Put me out there.
I like how I did that. Put it on Tasha. Let me put it on Tasha real fast.
Man.
But yeah, no. So please leave us your comments. We read every last comment.
Sometimes together, sometimes separately. But we read them.
Yeah. And so we'll read comments and then text the other one like, girl, did you read that comment? We read them. We definitely do.
Yep. And shout out to the people who left voice messages and sent emails. We got some good stuff coming to y'all in season 2.
I wasn't even aware that you could leave voice messages on Anchor because that's where we host our podcast. But we receive voicemails on there, so you guys can leave us a voicemail as well.
Yes, absolutely. That would be awesome. So, all right, Beans.
All right.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's
What's
a wrap.
Episode 10. That's a wrap. All right, Anomalies. We love you guys. Talk to you later.